Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another show. And today I'm hitting the double digits here on episode 10. And you are listening to Freight Be Moving, All Things Logistics, with me, Jewel Williams, your host. I am so excited. I have hit the double digits on the Freight Be Moving, All Things Logistics podcast. Today is election day here in Georgia and probably all over the place. So I hope you all have gotten out there and gotten your votes. Doesn't matter what side you're voting on, just as long as your voice is being heard. Just vote. Doesn't matter what side. Just vote. Just vote. Everybody get out there and vote. So I hope everybody got out there and voted today. I did mine early. Just getting that in there. So we will know tonight who the winners are. Yes. So I wanted to, first off, what I'm going to be talking about, continuing the conversation of the business of logistics, and we're talking about two strategies today. Want to bring some information to you. Maybe you've thought of this, maybe you haven't. If you have, excellent. This is just reinforcement, confirmation that you are out there thinking on growing and progressing in your business. If you haven't, I'm adding some new information to you. So either way, it's a win-win. The two issues I'm going to be talking about today, or should be issues, the two areas of strategies I'm going to be talking about today are marketing strategies for your small business in the freight and transportation industry, and the spot rate market and the strategies that you can be employing, considering, looking at while these spot rate markets are the way they are, which is very low. So to start off with, I want to read to you one of the 48 Laws of Power. The book is by Michael Green, and this book came out quite some time ago. I hope I said that right, that it's by Michael Green. Let me double check. Now I'm second guessing myself on who wrote the book. I know there was the 50th Power, Robert Greene. See, I was mistaken. I knew there was something wrong in that. So correction, let me correct myself right here. The 48 Laws of Power was written by Robert Greene, spelled Greene. So sorry about that, Robert. Didn't mean to give somebody else credit for your book. So anyway, I want to read law number 48. I just thought it was just at the right time at what we're in, and some along the same lines of the things that I've been thinking about. So the law says, assume formlessness. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. And I talked about that last week. Only thing consistent is change. That's it. So I thought that was great, because now in this time that we are experiencing economic challenges and we are going through a shift. And these shifts happen on our economy. Every time we grow as a nation, as a society, globally, there is a shift. It's inevitable. We wouldn't be where we are today. I wouldn't be talking on this microphone. I wouldn't have this camera up. I wouldn't have all these assets to produce this show if we did not shift in the way we do things in our society. So it's a good thing. On that note, now let's talk about marketing strategies. A lot of people think marketing is only for those big guys. I don't know if you have that idea, and I'm hoping that I shift your mind a bit today. Now, this is nothing new. Marketing has always been around. However, we can do it now through social media in a way that we could not do it before. Prior to social media, marketing options were left to newspapers, TV ads, radio ads, and putting signs out on the street corners, passing notes, direct mail. You could do it that way. And that was it. That was predominantly the only way to do things. Well, now that we have access to all these great tools, marketing is for everybody. And I want to say, I don't know if Gary Vee coined this, but everybody's a media company. And so I've heard him say that often. Everybody's a media company. I know I've had a YouTube account since 2000, and I want to say 2002, 2003. I've had a YouTube account. And I remember when it first hit the web, it was just, waiting for the dial-ups and all that kind of stuff. It was crazy. So marketing is a good strategy to incorporate as your small business. And it doesn't have to be something grandiose. You can start a podcast if you want, but you don't have to. You can always look to get on somebody else's platform for a podcast. You can definitely benefit from showcasing your business on your platforms. Now, Facebook is great, and most of Facebook is friends. So you probably want to start a Facebook page. I definitely would recommend that if you haven't started one. And you can start by simply curating content from things that relate to freight and transportation. I mean, there's plenty of information out there to dig on YouTube, Google searches. There are thousands of blogs out there that people writing about different things that you can share and curate. And what I mean by curate is you go out there and you find these articles and things and you just share them. You just post them. That's who you could start off with until you decided one day you might want to be a writer. You might want to write your own stuff. But the purpose of marketing is to bring about awareness. And so as a small business, as a trucking business, as a freight broker business, this allows your potential customers to see who you are, to get somebody that they can connect with. And that is always a benefit to you. Now, I want to definitely zero in on the truck drivers out here who are on the road. Now, I know many of you are posting YouTube videos. A lot of you are posting TikTok videos. You're putting up your photographs on your Instagram. You've joined several Facebook groups. I see many of you guys out here. However, I don't see you in spaces where you're showcasing yourself as a professional. And I'm going to suggest you look into that. And I'm going to suggest you look into LinkedIn as a marketing tool for your trucking company. It doesn't take much. You can do it on your phone, setting yourself up with a profile and letting people know you are a small business owner, truck driver out here on the road taking care of things. Now, why is that marketing piece important? Right now, we're in this flux. And there's things that are shifting. You've got digital brokers coming on board, such as Project 44, Uber Freight. And I found, not that this is surprising to me, but I found a website today where Amazon is leveraging their network of truck drivers to offer to shippers out here, because they've already got the infrastructure to allow shippers to put their shipments on their boards and connect those retailers. They've got retailers, your smaller partial. They've also got their eyes on your e-commerce. So you have your brick and mortar and you have your e-commerce that are going through a Amazon network. That is huge. That is huge. So the strategy that you're looking for is to raise the awareness of those types of companies that could utilize your service. And this way, when you are in that dry spell or you're looking for freight, you can be a lever. You can use your marketing tools and your presence to leverage yourself when you're making those negotiations with your carriers, or your brokers or dispatchers even. And if you're a dispatcher, you need to be marketing. If you're a freight broker, you need to be marketing. You need to have a presence and letting people know who you are. Bring yourself out. If you're going to do this for the long haul, you want to be in it for the long haul, marketing is going to be your best friend. And this is a perfect time to do that. It's slow. So setting up a LinkedIn profile, you can go on linkedin.com. You can read all through their information and set up a free platform. So I definitely want to say marketing needs to be your number one strategy, and highlighting who your company is and what your company is doing. Create a bold profile. Showcase yourself. Now, if you find this to be intimidating or something that you are a little shy about, there are people that can help you, but at the same time, if showing your face brings you anxiety even, okay, start slow. Use your truck. If you've got a nice truck, take a picture of a nice truck and let that be your profile picture. Okay? Use those type of tools to just draw attention to yourself. That's marketing. That's all marketing is about. That is all marketing is about. Okay? And when you're doing your marketing, these are as a truck driver myself, if you've got a hazmat endorsement, let people know. If you've got doubles and triples, let people know. If you got a tanker endorsement, let people know. If you got a TWIC card, let people know. Let people know what you've got. These are assets. It takes money and time, testing to acquire those things. Okay? Being a truck driver is a skill. If it wasn't, everybody named Mama would be driving one of these things. It's a skill. It takes a skill set to get in that truck, to roll down that landing gear, to roll up that landing gear, to back that truck into a dock, to back up under that truck with the fifth wheel and make sure it's locked. Make sure the fifth wheel doesn't jump because the trailer's too high. All those are skill sets that you as a driver have. And those things are key to your business. And they have value. They have value because when you can do it well, you become efficient. When you become efficient, you save time and you save money. And that right there is something that you also need to be highlighting in your profile. How many miles have you driven no accidents? You know, company drivers get these awards, million mile this, million mile that. Now, owner operators, nobody's recognizing you. You should be recognizing you. You know how many miles you've driven. You know how many states that you've been in. Let people know you know those states. That's a skill set to navigate yourself through the United States, in these roads, through these mountains, safely, daily, always checking your ride, always making sure your oil's in check, always making sure that, you don't have any nails or, your drive shaft. And that is a skill set. Highlight it. Okay. So I definitely want to just promote, start marketing yourself on things like LinkedIn. Use that as a strategy to reach into customers. And then one other thing on top of that, get to know the hashtags. Hashtags are your friend. A hashtag's a number sign with words. On LinkedIn, it's full of them. And why will you use hashtags? Because when you post, your posts go inside that hashtag. So now people who are looking for that hashtag your stuff can come up. So that's my recommendation on marketing. Become a social media marketer, and it doesn't have to be extravagant. Just something as simple as what I just told you is your best bet. All right, now moving on to the freight rate market strategy or spot rate market strategy. Now, I'm going to use some information that I pulled from a website just because it was formulated in a way that I didn't have to redo it. And the company I want to highlight that I pulled this off their website is Transporion. Okay, they are, I don't know where they're based, but I know they're like a digital broker. So it says that the company, it's been around for fewer than 20 years, has grown from a small startup to become a leading transportation management platform with more than 1,200 employees and operations worldwide. The secret of our success, staying focused. We follow one principle to link all parties in the transportation logistics supply chain to our transportation management platform. By combining our deep industry knowledge with IT expertise and an authentic concern for our customers, we now maintain one of the largest cloud-based transportation management platforms in the world. Our cloud-based logistics application provide end-to-end transport logistics management software solutions, a full service portfolio for shippers, suppliers, retailers, goods, recipients, and carriers. Notice I didn't say freight brokers. This enables shared efficiencies for all parties in logistics supply chain. Our large data set and all driven platforms also allow network users to continue optimize processes through each transport cycle. The more you use Transporion, the more efficient your processes become. What a lot of companies are doing, and I know this is a little off topic, but they mentioned this AI. A lot of companies are using AI so that it becomes smarter about when your seasons are. As you may or may not know, freight has seasons. Real quick, this is also a part of your strategy and understanding as a business. What are the seasons of the industry that you're in? And that'll also help you as you are planning out your year-to-year projections and that kind of thing. So the quiet season is January through March, which is usually after the intense holidays. And we're having it a little bit early. It's a little bit quieter than usual. We know that's due to a lot of different things. Then you have the produce shipping season, which is April through July. You got the peak season, shipping season, which is August through October. We just finished. It wasn't as peakish as it normally is. And then you have the holiday shipping season between November and January. Now, I know when I was driving, I used to pick up Christmas trees probably in the late July, early August. Sometimes I'd pick them up sooner than that. And Christmas trees being the fake Christmas trees that would move to various sellers and that kind of thing. So that's just something that you should be mindful of as a truck driver, as a freight broker, anybody in the logistics industry. And one of the things that I used to do, and this is something to help me when I was on the road, is I would monitor the volumes that I would get. So I would just write down on a little log what the weight was of my shipments, because heavier freight, if I was doing more loads with heavy weight, that meant there was more stuff going. And then as I saw the weight drop, I would go, okay. I would also track miles, if I was going more miles, less miles, that kind of thing. So these are just some things that I use just to help me kind of stay in sync with, okay, this, I'm in a high point now. Oh, I'm in a low point. I'm in a high point. I'm in a low point. And that just helped me plan. I even tracked my weekly and monthly income. I mean, those are just strategies that you do so that you can see, oh, this is a high season of moving freight. This is a low season. So keep those things in mind, okay? Now, spot rates. So I'm going to be reading this from the Transporion. They had a modern guide to spot rate procurement. It says, how are spot freight rates calculated? Spot freight rates fluctuate based on real-time balance of supply and demand in the truckload market. In short, when the number of available loads is higher than the number of available trucks, spot rates are higher due to high competition for capacity, and vice versa. Additional factors that impact freight spot rates include lanes. So I want to just circle back real quick. If there's less drivers in the market and there's more freight to be moved, then the spot rate should go up. However, we've seen something a little bit different here lately. So now, lanes. So you have your lanes of shipping. Now, I like to break it down like highway lanes. So I've got going that I-75, what's going I-40, what's going I-20, That's how I used to like to break down my lanes. Now, of course, shippers are going to have a different lane breakdown. But when you're doing your lane, shipment origin and destination play a critical role in pricing spot rates. If load volumes are high in origin market, like here in Atlanta, there's a lot of freight that moves out of Atlanta. It is a huge hub, okay? And therefore, if there's not a lot of trucks in this lane, in this market right now coming out of Atlanta, then most of your rates should be high. However, we're not seeing that. So you can expect rates to be inflated as shippers battle for availability of capacity. Similarly, if a load is dwelling to a remote or non-industrial region, rates will also be higher to anticipate deadhead miles for a reload. Conversely, shipping out of areas with low volumes and into major hubs could drive spot rates down. So out of an area with low volumes and into a major hub could drive spot rates down since shippers have more leverage. So how can this is a strategy that you want to think of. How can you position yourself, be fluid, okay? Being fluid with what I talked about with the law number 48, and also position yourself using marketing. So right now, most drivers post up on load boards that they are in these particular areas. And that's where the information sits. And so brokers access that information. But most shippers don't access that information. Some may not. Depends on if they've got access to a load board. So marketing yourself on social media by highlighting, man, I'm driving in these lanes. I'm riding up and down I-95 and loving the atmosphere. I'm riding east and west on 40. Oh man, I love going over here to Tennessee and hanging out in the southeastern states of Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. You feel me where I'm going at? These are lanes you can highlight and share to pique somebody's interest. And you could probably get a reach out from a shipper directly, bypassing brokers. Now, I'm a broker, and you're probably wondering, like, well, why is she telling us this? Because this is a $1 trillion business. It's a $1 trillion industry. Freight transportation is a $1 trillion industry. And for me to think that I'm going to get all the $1 trillion is just ridiculous. There's enough for everybody, and I don't have a lacking mentality about things. So that's why I tell people stuff. Now, commodities. This is your next strategy. Understanding the commodities market in the transportation. High volume loads like electronics and machinery generally cost more in the spot freight market than low volume bulk goods. And the reason for that is people have a higher, attraction to electronics and machinery. So it's going to be stolen. So they're going to want somebody who is secure and safe, and they lock their trucks and they park in safe places and all that good stuff. So let people know you specialize in certain commodities. You have worked with companies who, and you don't have to be specific. You don't have to say, I work with XYZ company or XY. You can just simply say, man, I've worked on many of accounts, helping transport valuable items. And it's, we always keep our trailer locked and secured, or we always keep our wheels moving with the team drivers. So that way we eliminate the possibility of theft. These are important things that you just want to highlight when you are marketing yourself. These are important little nuggets that shippers and brokers would probably appreciate. Also, it shows that you're communicating. As you have access to your phone, you are communicating. You're a good communicator. So those are just some things to think about. Due to stricter equipment requirements and service parameters. So if you've got a reefer, I'm sure, or you are specializing in what they call extra wide freight and construction equipment freight, highly marketable, highly specific, highly niche. These are also can be looked at as niching your market, niching down on who you're targeting for your customers as a driver, as a freight broker. You're niching down in the lanes, you're niching down on the commodities. Those are a part of your spot rate lane strategy, if you want to call it that. Okay. Also keeping in mind, if you're pulling heavier loads, then you should be getting more money. The heavier your load is, the more money you should be getting. So if you specialize in heavy loads, you need to make sure you're specializing in more rates. It takes more fuel to move a truck that has more weight. I don't make these things up. It just is. So market conditions, going back to the seasons, holiday closures, extreme weather events, and can produce season disruptions, and that also impacts the spot rate market, generally resulting in higher spot rates throughout the country. So we are going into the winter season. If you drive up in those mountains, you definitely should be getting better rates to move that freight through the snow. I have driven in those snow. I have been trapped in those snowstorms, and you definitely deserve to be compensated to move that freight. That freight has got to move. The freight has got to move. Okay, so then you've got timing. Timing has a significant impact on spot rates and will be highly case dependent. So we've got lead time areas, we've got day and week, and we've got the time of day. Now, lead time, same day loads versus loads that, they're not as volatile. You can position yourself with a shipper. You might be making a delivery, and let's say that shipper has a hot load that needs to go across town, and they're probably trying to figure out who I can find. When you're going in and making the delivery, and you've got your face right there in front of the traffic manager, hey, you guys got anything you might need to go across town? I'm emptying out right here. I'd be glad to work with you. I can call my broker, I can call whoever and let them know I got something right here, and maybe we can hook and make something happen. It's an on-the-spot sale. That is a good strategy, and you're right there. It says same-day loads come with premium price tags. Okay, they've got a short lead time. They got something that has to go, and there are many companies that I have seen that have, sub, companies or somebody that they work with in another town that they are putting together something, and you don't know unless you ask. So I want to just throw that out there. And then the day of the week, your Monday and your Fridays are going to be your heavier days. So I know like every week when I would come in on a Monday and I would get in and be doing my route, I knew that if I didn't have certain customers on my pickups, something was wrong, because I knew those customers were always heavy. So I would just go by and I would say, hey, I didn't see you on my pickup, but I just want to make sure you're taken care of today. You can do that. So if it's a Monday or a Friday and you're trying to figure out, I don't have a load Monday morning, I just emptied out, what am I going to do? Talk to that shipper you just made a delivery to. Now, you might have a no compete clause with your agent or whoever you're working with, and you can handle that in a different way. So that could look like, hey, I can reach out to the person I'm working with and let's see if they can, we can work something out to where they can connect with you and we can get this load moved. You're also helping out your broker, you're helping out your dispatcher, whoever the case may be. Now, if it's a dispatcher, it's going to be a little bit different because they can't deal with shippers. But if you're working with a broker can, reach out to that customer. If they've already got that customer on the list, hey, oh yeah, I didn't realize you guys had something. Yeah, that driver's emptied out. I don't have anything planned for them. And they can get you moving. So, pay attention to the day of the week, Monday, Fridays. Maybe your better day to get you a load. Sometimes Tuesdays is pretty dry, Wednesday's pretty dry, Thursdays might pick up. So it all depends, but definitely that Monday, Friday thing. And then the time of day. Appointment times can severely limit capacity and impact spot rates. Early morning and late night appointments generally cost more since they severely impact a driver's hours of service and the ability to generate revenue. So, you've got a customer, everything is shipped out, but they had that one shipment that didn't ship out because they couldn't fill it, they couldn't find the capacity, whatever the case may be. It was a last minute order, whatever the case may be. Hey, I'm available. Or, hey, I dropped off at you guys, earlier today. I'm just calling back just to see if you guys had anything. Start engaging with this. Start being proactive and fluid instead of constricting yourself into these boxes to where you can only go one way. You've got to start expanding all those things to grow your business. Be strategic, especially in this market. It's okay to think outside the box. Anytime it's okay to think outside the box, but it's okay to think outside the box. All right. So I hope this information was helpful to you. Got yourself some information about how you can be more strategic in your marketing and how that can help you in negotiating yourself in these spot rate markets. Awareness, communication, all those things are good things. All right. All right, everybody. I hope this information is helpful to you. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, ask me a question. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on the Facebook page. I've got a blog. Well, I'm redoing my blog right now. I'm on Instagram. You can find me on social media, and I would love to reach out to you, connect with you, answer questions that you may have, whatever the case may be, to help you be successful in your business. All right. I am signing off today, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. And remember, if you are out there driving on these roads, whether you are a 4-wheeler or an 18-wheeler, be safe, be mindful, and please, by the grace of God, stay off the phone. Thank you. All right. Peace and love. Let's get that music popping, shall we?